How's that?
Yes. How are you doing, Zachary?
Oh, very well, thank you. It's so great to see you. Ah, oh, goodness gracious. Uh, it says Susan because it's my wife's computer.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Um, oh goodness. I probably have listened to like 100 of your video one-on-ones, you know.
Thank you.
Oh,
So tell me your
it
story, Zachary.
oh. Well, when I was, I'm 77 now. When I was about 20, Krishnamurti came into my life.
Hmm.
Krishnamurti blew me away. It was just, I'd
Hmm.
never had anything like that before. And
Which
there's no
one?
spiritual
The Jiddu
authority.
or the UG?
What's that?
Which Krishnamurti? Was it the G
Oh,
the
you do, whatever his
Jiddu?
name.
Okay.
You do Krishnamurti. Yeah, the other one I never knew about even till recently, and I don't care about. uh, and so he just really blew me away. But it it didn't just stop everything. It just there just more. There was endless seeking, and
Yeah.
there was Meher Baba. You ever heard of Meher Baba? Don't worry, be happy, and
Yeah, yeah.
uh, it served a purpose for me at the time. I mean, you know, I was a very miserable person for many years.
Yeah.
And then let me see, who else over the years? Yogananda,
Yeah.
Course in Miracles for many years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for many years, A Course in Miracles. More recently, Rupert Spira and Muji in the last few years, and also um, Tony Parsons and all his disciples. So, and but when I heard you, something new entered for me that wasn't there before of just dropping the mind. Basically, it's sort of like letting go of thought and the whole and it's here it is. It's
So
this
simple, isn't
silent.
it?
What's that?
So simple.
It's so simple. It's so simple. I went to in Boulder. I live in Boulder, Colorado, and they had band on the bricks on Wednesday, and they had really great rock and roll band. And I just love to dance to the
Yeah.
rock and roll,
Yeah.
and it's very sweet, and not too many people my age there, some, but they were mostly younger people, and I just love the energy of the younger people. It's like they shine, and I sort of pick it up. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was really wonderful. And the mind would come in, but I noticed the difference is that in the past I would get into the mind more, get
Yeah.
carried away with the images or feelings, as if there was something there to look into,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just let it go. Okay,
Yeah.
and just come back to being present.
Yeah.
So that's
Y-
my story so
Yeah.
far.
So in your email said you were seeking since you were 19, right? So and was it 19 years old? Wow. So how many years is that? 50? 50 years?
Uh, 50, yeah, like 50 something years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
said you watched the 100 videos. The 101 videos.
There's almost 300 videos now on
That's
there.
right. Yeah. and
And,
and yeah, I'm so happy that it finally, what ended that long time seeking, right? And it's just so simple. It's yeah, I did the same thing that you did, right? It's just never ending seeking. someone would blow me away, but ultimately would lead me to more seeking.
And that's exactly what happened again and again.
And I was looking for someone that would, another teaching, another, whether it be a Course in Miracles or another teacher or whatever. So yeah, so this is the end of the teachings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I belong to a group that meets every other Thursday for some years now.
Yeah.
Very dear friends, and we're going through a lot of changes in the group. But it's we basically listen to Rupert and some others, and and I go to the group because I love my friends.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I love my friends, and one of the things there's this whole thing of the teachings, like I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff, and then when I have all these things learned, I'm going to use them to bring me here,
Yeah, yeah. But if you
rather than
notice, they're taking you to the next.
to the next.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, goodness gracious.
When am I going to be being aware of the awareness? That kind of thing,
Yes, yes, yes.
right?
And my mind still plays with that. It's out
Yeah.
of habit.
So what are you
But I
without
just
that observer?
it's just here.
Yeah.
It's just here.
It's just plain and simple here.
It's plain
Right?
and simple. It's
Yeah.
and I, I I guess I'd like to get it across to my friends. But I don't know. I don't know. Even that could be an ambition or something,
Yeah, yeah.
it
To
could
try to
be.
go to the next to see what this is, right? And the simplicity of it, it just really defies logic, understanding, beliefs, all that kind of stuff, because it's a mind trap. Anything that you present, the mind wants to take it further to the next. And how do I get there? Um, but if you take away the here and there, what's in between that?
Just, one can't speak of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if non-duality is unspeakable, unthinkable, unfathomable, unknowable, all of those all of those words and all of those definitions, um, so I speak about it. And why not speak about it? It doesn't matter, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter, right? It's what cannot really be defined. And in the definition, we explore that what can't be defined. I used I used to speak about this ad infinitum and maybe ad nauseum to the people that's listening to it. No matter how much you say, it's this is it, and they're like, well, how do I get to this? So
Yeah.
I've even taken
Yeah.
taken that out.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
this is it, why doesn't it feel like this is it?
yeah,
Like I should know what that feels like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's between this is it and this is not it?
That's one that's one of the in-betweens that I use every so often. That
Yeah.
brings me.
Yeah, it's just sobriety, right? It's just sober up from all of these because we get intoxicated to the eloquent speakings, which I'm guilty of course. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not as eloquent as others, but but I noticed that I know I would talk about I used to have 5-day online events, and it's just the same people coming back over and over. No one is getting out. I said, "Are you holding on to my words?" And I'm like, "They are."
Oh, the same even with the Tuesday night group that I'm in, where the idea is, I think of late the thing is now we must dig deeper. That's what it is. We're not
Settle
there
into it,
quite.
feel into it.
Feel into it
Yeah,
more. Shadow work, the shadow
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah,
Gonna dig and and uh, well, that kind of shit maybe rises to the surface,
yeah, yeah,
kind of old, but there's nothing to do about it but just to let it come and go. It just kind of arises and dissolves. You don't have
yeah,
to dig for it either. It's just suddenly you trigger it and some kind of emotional shit arises.
yeah,
There it is, and fine. And I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing to be done with it except it comes and it goes. And then
yeah. So what's
it's a
between
better
accept?
resolve.
Yeah, what's between acceptance and rejection? The tendency of the mind is to go accept or reject. And then when the teacher goes, there's nothing to do, then you reject it. When you say that there you have to be aware of it, then you're doing it, right? At one point I was just, I was listening to Rupert, Tony, and everybody else, right? I'm like, who is telling the truth? Someone tell me because they both claim to have it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Well, not really claim, but it appears, right, that someone has gotten it, even if there's no one got it apparently. Um, and much
yeah.
love,
Tell you how you
and much
can't
love.
get
It's
it.
okay. It's all right. um,
Um, I wanted to mention this is sort of it's an emotional habit of mine. I wanted to bring this up,
sure.
just for all of it. Um, Pretty much, I'll just get to it. Music in my life, it's been something that I've, um, geez, I don't even speak of it. Of late, I carry almost a kind of grief,
Okay. Yeah.
strangely enough, that I haven't developed myself musically the way I feel I should have.
Mm, yeah.
But I carry I'm feeling that of late
Yeah.
as this and I just and so a friend of mine says, well, play the guitar every day that you have, and I'm a beginner on the guitar. He says, keep playing it, and you'll get to where you wanna. And I don't pick up the guitar. I haven't picked it up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm just in a state of like I have no idea about any of this. I'm just letting this be also because I don't have a clue
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
and this is an old thing that has returned to me again and again,
Yeah.
in particular with music. So I don't know.
Well, what are you without the next? What are you without expectations?
Yeah, it's the attachment to expectation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
I used to play the piano when I was a kid, and I stopped it for a while because it just became a pleasing to my parents, right? So they bought me this, nice organ, like remember organs when you have those two things and then you have that bass thing, and
Oh yeah.
it was really expensive, and I wanted to perform, I wanted to perform so well that it was worth it. I didn't feel that it was worth, because I was just in the beginning, and so my I got good at it at one point, but there was a point in my life that I did not really, because I was looking for the next, that I'm not good enough, that even though I went through all those recitals as a piano player and everything. So just a few years ago, I picked up, a piano, and I just started playing, not for any audience, just for the moment. And I enjoyed it immensely because there's no expectations. I like this composer named Ludovico Inadi, and I love his compositions. And I would try to study it first, and then I just developed my own compositions, and with no intention to release it, no intention whatsoever. And there's just a quiet contentment with that.
Oh,
Yeah,
ah.
yeah,
Well, ah, okay.
yeah. Or even DJing is becoming like that because I'm used to performing in public. But lately I've been DJing just picking the songs that I really, really just love, and then here I am dancing on by myself, and DJing and dancing, and it's just such joy when there is just no mind trying to take over. Because if you look at piano playing or any instrument playing or DJing and everything, there's really no mind in it. You might think that you're thinking, that you're choosing the tracks and everything, but again, this is just another story. But everything seems to just magically be in its right place. Even those little mistakes with chord progressions and everything, I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting, right? And it's there is a beauty without the next.
I remember, I played the soprano recorder and the flute a little bit,
Oh, nice.
and I was playing it and improvising,
Yeah,
and some of the notes were like really weird and going, and because I was just playing for myself, and I enjoyed those. I said, Joe, that's an interesting sound,
yeah,
and I just played with that sound that would not
yeah.
be considered the right sound or whatever, and it was yeah.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, right? And that's why, like, I used to when I was younger, I used to go to jazz bars and not to drink really because I was underage, but just to experience, the musicianship. And I was just so fascinated by improvisations and especially like a three-piece band that really works cohesively. And they're playing, you know what I'm saying, as if there's really no one else in the room except them. And you get transported into that wholeness. Then you're part of the improvisation, um, and then here I am, not sitting in a bar full of older people because I was like 18 and everything. And to me, that was rebellion because but it was also just the magic of being during that time. People used to smoke, in the bars, that in a smoky room in a jazz bar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, Zachary, right? There was just this great and um, immersion into it, and it's the same thing that I experienced with DJing, right? So I've been having this clarity for quite a while. When DJing, I get out of the way, right? So I look at the crowd and then I play a couple tracks and no one's biting it. The moment someone bites into the music, the dancing starts.
Mm.
Then the DJ, the music, the crowd evaporates into this euphoric stillness that's also moving. I don't know how to explain it. And I
Yeah.
have, and that's why I loved dancing. I used to live in when I was younger, I used to live in a bar, uh, an apartment that was on top of a bar, and you would have to take the stairs, and it was a massive, massive space. And so it would have a huge space for dancing. So I would rent smoke machines, and lights, and make it into a full-on, dance party for my friends. And at one point, people were coming up the stairs, thinking that it was a real dance bar. And so we started charging entrance fee. But I love that. I love that whole like that whole um I don't know if you catch yourself dancing and nothing else matters.
Yeah, and that's why I love going to these rock and roll bands. I have a dear friend named Arnie that pulls me into this. I am going to see this band, and without him, I don't know if I would be going to them. But I'm so
Yeah,
glad that I am.
it's so
I
good, right?
love them. I because
Sometimes it just takes an old rock and roll, music, right? To just get all the blues away, and it's just so there's something about music that is just so universal. Um,
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I love all
And
sorts of music. It doesn't have to
oh,
be
me
this
too. I
kind.
love classical music.
Yeah.
I've listened to many composers, and I still do. Orchestra composers. There's a tremendous amount on YouTube where you can even see the
Oh
orchestra
yeah.
as well as. So I love it. I love to explore all of that. But dancing, rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
For me, it's rock and roll,
Yeah.
and it's always what I would call formless dance. I don't know how to dance a form dance, a waltz, a foxtrot, or whatever the hell. I don't know how to do any of those, but just to move around and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just let go of and just and especially a good rock and roll with the rhythm and yeah, the electric guitar is like magical to me when it's done right. It's
Yeah, 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 yeah. Those beautiful riff, you know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah, those great
yeah,
riffs.
yeah. Yeah, so playing music is just play. They'll make it into something serious, right? Because it's just play. And the play is just as beautiful if you make mistakes or not, right? Or if you think you're going anywhere with it or not, it doesn't matter. So pick up a guitar and screw up a lot, and that's completely all right.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, it's
Yeah. Or not.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely carry
Don't make it into seeking again.
so many what?
Don't make it into seeking again.
Right, right. That's the right. Don't make it into speaking. That's
Yeah.
simple. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You're gonna be
Become
moving
yourself.
from yeah, you're gonna be moving from one guitar player to another, instead of teachers. But yeah. Have you gone to see any of the teachers, in your 50 years of seeking? I had a person that saw both Krishnamurtis, also
Oh,
in 70s basically, right? So I have a lot of people that have been seeking for 50 plus years that get a hold of me, and then they say that nothing has worked, right? And somehow um the simplicity of the in between, or just taking away the language, clicks in a
just
way
click.
that
It's
yeah,
amazing. It clicks perfectly. It's
yeah,
um, other than well, online I did with Jim Newman and Tony Parsons. I did online with them. In person,
yeah.
nobody in person. And all the others are just videos and sharing with friends and reading tons of books.
Yeah, you must have read a lot of books.
Yeah, I've read a lot of books, and I still have some of them. And yeah, I tell my friends I'm not following any spiritual teacher now and not reading any books.
What a
And they,
relief, huh?
what a relief!
Yeah,
What a relief! I mean, if someone talks to me and they want to bring it up, I'll listen.
yeah.
If they're sharing now directly about something but like a friend of mine gave me this series of tapes by Eckhart Tolle. Oh, Eckhart Tolle is another one
Yeah.
that
You've been
I
through them all, haven't you?
yes, I've been through them all. Probably many that I forgot that I
How
haven't.
did you find me on the internet then? Was it just the algorithm?
Partly that, but I knew you from the Nothing Media as
Oh,
the
that's right.
you were the host for
Yeah.
all the we call them the bad boys of non-duality.
The posse, right?
Yeah.
From the
Jim.
wild, wild west of no one.
Yeah. There's nobody here talking, and there's nothing happening, and you
How
know.
did that work for you?
Not too well.
I was talking to someone just a couple of days, and then he was so entrenched in the lingo, and I just said, "Oh, quit the jargon. Keep repeating. Quit the repetition of words. You're like hypnotized or brainwashed or something." And then he just paused for a moment. I'm like, "What are you without that language?" And there was like a lot of silence. He goes, "Oh my goodness, I've been repeating the words of the non-guru guru." The non-teacher teachers.
We're only speakers, not teachers.
The no message message.
Well, it certainly made them into teachers. I certainly made them into teachers,
Yeah,
whether they
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and
it doesn't matter what you say. It's just a ploy to make it better. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
yeah. I mean, I can
Yeah,
make you into a teacher.
that's right. But I'm not going to allow you. It doesn't matter. I'm just joking. It doesn't matter. It's just the word teacher, no teacher,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember, you know what? I was going articulating this a little bit more into more clarity, but it was not um gelling with a lot of the radical crowd, right? And often they would just, put me at the stake or crucify me and say that you're a teacher. How dare you? I'm like, well, you're also listening to teachers that just claims to be non-teachers. I didn't say that, of course, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all words are all fabrications. So if you start getting caught up in the words of know me or awareness, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then I'm trying to get to that.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm trying to get to know me or
that's
what.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it just becomes so elusive, right? Because now you think that you have to talk like that. And then you start thinking like that. But what it just become it's a joke now, right? It's before everybody's like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. But now we can laugh about it because it's just another landing. It's just an if somebody because there's no one to land, well, that's just another landing. There's no position, that's still a position.
Right,
So
right.
the in between, what's in between position and no position? What's between teaching and non-teaching?
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
yeah. Because no teaching or teaching me or no me, self or no self is like an opiate for the mind. There's no one here.
And then the
It's
mind
all
again.
awareness, yeah.
I'm not here. Hmm.
Hope somebody trips you up if you keep on, like who tripped up? No one tripped. I love it what Alan Watts said, right? If someone claims that there's no one or whatever, there's no, push them, see how they react.
I actually did that to a friend. I threw a folded up napkin on him. He says, "Who ducked then?"
That's right. Non-violence, non-violence. Yeah. And yet in that circles, there's so much gossip about who's me and no me. For such a bunch of no me, there's so much gossip about who's still a me and who's not a me. It
Being
bec-
and being.
that's right. No,
Yeah,
it's actually meing and no meing, right?
being and no being. Yes, yes.
Same, same made up stuff, right? So
Yeah, yeah. And supposedly the speakers are the one who finally got there.
that's right. But no one gets there.
No, they tell you, but somehow they got there.
But here
How
I
did
am
I
on a bigger
get
chair than yours with flowers right beside me.
there?
with my button with my button up shirt, you know what I'm saying? And I have all the answers, although there's no answer. So that's why I don't really do the Q&A, you know what I'm saying, format anymore because it's just a collection of questions and answers that collects a whole bunch of followers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
must have the answer.
The bigger the audience that you get, you know, saying the more poorly that you're doing, really, if you want to be honest. You should be
Yeah.
getting rid of them.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's just good to laugh about this, right? Because we take it too seriously. Non-duality circles are get they get too serious, and it's just about division. Um, we are right, they're wrong, and the other side is saying we are right, they're wrong. So what's between right and wrong?
I have a friend that's into, oh, there's another one. Do you know Joel Goldsmith? That was one that I was in for a while. Are you familiar with him at all? Joel Goldsmith. He's a Christian mystic
Mm,
from the 50s and early 60s, but he's still probably the infinite way is what he
okay.
and I have a dear friend and
No, I haven't heard of him. No.
yeah, yeah. It's very similar to A Course in Miracles. It's
Okay.
very
Okay.
similar to A Course in Miracles. Very, very similar.
Very similar. Okay.
It preceded it, but it's very, very similar. And anyway, I dropped all of that, and my friend didn't want to know me for a while there because
Yeah.
I must have went in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Dropped off the path, the right path.
And it's
But
the
I'm
same.
ready.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. I'm ready to reconnect with her again. I love her. She's a darling person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whether she's ready to connect with me again, we'll see. But
Yeah.
I'm certainly ready to connect and tell her that I'm just not in the infinite way. And
Yeah. Yeah. For me, when I started clarifying and evolving what I was talking about, um, I lost a lot of people that I considered friends
mm,
because I was just too blunt, you know, and they don't want to and they just ghost you. They just go away sometimes, and it's
mm,
sad, right? Because it's just their belief, and here am I talking what's between belief and non-belief, and their loyalty now goes to the person that they think they know.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And then
yes,
then you become ostracized or canceled, um,
yeah,
because
right.
you have departed, right, from that belief system, and
Yes, you've left the true path.
yeah, yeah, because they have their loyalty now on the most popular guy or the one that has the most influence or whatever. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter,
yeah.
right? And it's yeah, but it's okay too. It's all right. You
Uh,
meet new friends
it-
along the way, right? And
yeah, I mean, people are at where they're at, and
yeah,
just love them where they're at. And that's.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, whoops! I got my flashlight on here.
That's
So.
all right. That's all right. So there's a lot of dancing in Boulder, Colorado, huh?
Yeah, there's always different rock bands
Yeah,
happening all over the place. These rock bands that are not famous, that are not like nationally famous. Many of them are so damn good anyway, even though they're just local bands.
yeah,
They they're as good as anything I've heard from the best.
Oh, I love small town bands, right? I love those those party that's just that's just really free, and it doesn't have to be popular, it doesn't have to be there because there's a lot of great musicians out there that they're
Yeah,
doing it from passion, right?
it
So
really is. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
a lot of great musicians out there, and yeah, the one last night. What's it called? Good Graham and the Painters. That's the
Oh,
name.
good. Did they play their original songs or they do a lot of cover?
They did both,
Oh,
original and
good.
cover, about
Oh,
half and
that's
half,
great. That's great. Yeah.
and they're really good. They're really, really good. And the lead sing, there's only one singer. The lead guitarist is a singer. He's got these very long hair, and when
Ooh,
he
real rock star.
dances, he jumps up and down on the stage with tremendous energy and shakes his head around, and his hair goes like a helicopter, and
Oh, wow.
but it's
That's
it's just a
awesome.
whole lot of fun.
That's awesome.
But it's great music, though. Great music. Great. Yeah, there's a lot of going on in. Matter of fact, next is it next Thursday? There's a band in not in Boulder, but in Boulder County that my friend Arnie they do. It's called the '80s Band, and they
Oh,
play
wow.
all kinds of '80s
I love
music.
the 80s.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I love the 80s. I love the 80s music, right? It's although when I DJ it's more current music to what the young people like, right? Because um I love staying current too, but there's a beautiful nostalgia for the 70s and 80s for me.
yeah, yeah. Well,
This the
because
70s is because that's where my uncles and aunts, and love the
uh-huh,
music and that they pass on to you and which I'm doing the same for my nieces and nephews actually, which is really great. Which is really
yeah,
great. Yeah. So I introduced them to the music that I like and I'm surprised that they like it too, right? Because they have all of this new music and they enjoy, there's something universal about music that is just brings people together, even if it's decades
absolutely.
apart and even if the music is an oldie. Because for
Yeah.
quite a while the oldies for me were the 1950s and the 1940s music, right? And I appreciated them too, right? But
Oh, I do too. I do
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Satchmo, for instance, and all
Oh, I
that.
like Satchmo. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I go through phases in my life for quite a while that I would discover like blues or I would discover techno, trance, and um, jazz standards and um, Duke Ellington and then recently discovered opera. I never thought I would like that. I
Oh,
was listening to punk music and then and it's such an opposites, right? And I
yeah.
listened to to the opera, and I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful." Like I never thought I would listen to like Maria Callas or that kind
Uh,
of sort, right? It's just
if you listen to
amazing.
a whole opera, have you
Yeah,
listened to
yeah, yeah.
which ones, for instance?
Madame Butterfly,
Puccini,
beautiful. The other one, Tosca. I
La
can't remember
Boheme?
the other ones. La Boheme, yeah, yeah. So I went through a phase where I was just like, it's like a new discovery, although it's been around for decades and decades, right? And then you're appreciating Luciano Pavarotti, for example, right? And all of those
Yeah.
great singers from the past. And then you find these clips, like you just transported into the Mikado or something, which is beautiful.
Oh,
And
yes, yes. Gilbert and Sullivan.
Gilbert and Sullivan, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they can be very funny
Yeah.
too. The comic operas a lot.
And then there's the serious ones, the tragic ones, the La Traviata or something. Oh, right? It's just wow. That, like all of those operas, I can't remember. There was just, I was just listening to them, like, ah. And this is when I went through, dug into my old punk, like The Clash, like a lot of the electronic things too and everything. And then get transported into this beautiful world of opera, and which I never thought I would listen to. Um, And I even discovered country. right? And I was just discovering the
Ah,
old country, like the
ah,
Conway Twitty and the Loretta Lynn and the there's a Canadian one, Stompin' Tom O'Connor's. I don't know if you know him.
no,
It's just phenomenal too, right? And it's just like wow, because there's like there's an openness to it, to anything that I
yes.
listen to, and I love that song, Tennessee Whiskey. It's a more recent country song.
Ah, no, I don't know
It's
that.
beautiful. It's beautiful,
Oh,
right? It's just Chris Stapleton, I think, and
is that a man or a woman?
that's a man.
Chris,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
woman.
Hmm.
Chris Stable. I'll check
Yeah,
that out. Yeah,
Tennessee whiskey.
I'm really open to everything. Yeah, I used
Yeah,
to
because I used to
years
listen to
ago.
like new wave. I listened to like Brit rock and
Uh-huh.
alternative music and pop and hip hop and rap and
I
um
never can get into rap much.
there's this beautiful artist named Kendrick Lamar, and then he has a Pulitzer Prize winning album, and it's poetry. It's beautiful.
Oh, what's
Can't
his
remember
name?
it. Kendrick Lamar, right? It's a
Kendrick
new hip hop
Lamar.
artist. It's
Kendrick Lamar.
and then there's
Yeah,
the other guy is Chris Stapleton, country opposites. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's
Chris
but it's
Stapleton.
and then there's also time that I discover Latin music. Oh my goodness. Like Tito Puente and Celia Cruz and
Ah,
salsa and mambo and my favorite cleaning music now is this album by this Celia Cruz, right? It just moves and it's just so great
oh yeah,
um and
yeah.
then I discovered like Italian disco, right? Italo disco. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
There's this
A
artist
lot of
named
shit out there.
Cerrone. There's so much, right? It's just so great.
Yeah,
And
it is. It is.
yeah, you know, I walk a lot, but I also listen to a lot of music. And I love it. I love it so much. Discovering especially a new genre. I even got into world music a little bit at one point. Fela Kuti and the African, you know, beats and oh, so
Ah,
wonderful. And of course my own Filipino music that I love, right? So there's just so much beauty. And yeah, it's and of course, you know, like I listen to dubstep and all of the recent ones like bass house and yeah, so yes to music, any kind of
yeah,
music.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or even discovering those old bands like Bee Gees. They're such great harmonies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah. The Bee Gees, I love them.
the Bee
They
Gees. Their
Bee
older
Gees.
work and their disco work is great too, right? So it's good to dance to.
Oh yeah, they have some
Yeah,
disco classics. Bee
yeah.
Gees,
I
"Staying
love
Alive."
putting on the Saturday Night Live album, you know, and just dancing around the house, you know. There's this disco Beethoven song, A Fifth of Symphony.
Oh yes,
It's got a disco
yeah,
beat,
yeah,
right? It's just so
yeah,
funky.
yeah. Oh yeah, sure. That was a pop song some years ago. It was,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's just and of course the old, you know, classic rock music, you can't beat that. You know, like you listen to, you know, like AC/DC or, you know, the Eagles. Eagles are great
oh, the
songwriting.
Eagles are great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac is phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course you know, my when I was in my teenage, we listened to like The Cure, Depeche Mode, and you know the cool bands with the weird hairs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, right.
I remember going to a Cure concert and putting on eyeliner because you know everybody had eyeliners.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cure.
yeah.
I'm not familiar with them.
The
Cure.
Cure. It's like a goth punk band, right? So
Cure.
The Cure.
Cure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The Cure.
yeah.
All right. To check stuff out here.
Yeah, I love music. I love music, any kind of music. And yeah, the Santanas. Do you remember
Oh,
Santana?
Carlos Santana. I
Oh,
love it.
what a virtuoso, right? He just played
Oh,
and just
oh,
the
what a virtuoso.
composition. Yeah. Yeah, just great. The guitar playing. Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
would DJ and I would DJ in the middle of my DJ set. I would put in Oye Como Va, Oye Como Va
Oh,
by
yeah.
Santana, right? And they're like, "What the
Yeah.
hell is that?" Right? And people are like, "It's just got a really nice, And then the guitar too, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's a Latin. It's a Latin rock and roll. Okay.
Yeah. So I like introducing, like I would play like a house music set and inserting a little bit of rock and roll in the inside, and the crowd doesn't even know what hit them. They're like, what is he playing? Right? It's just so out of nowhere. There's this song that just plays out of nowhere. And yeah, that's the beauty about it because it's all, again, this is just the narrative. Everything is interconnected. If you look at rock, it has borrows from roots, right? And from blues, from,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
jazz. And then if you look at the techno music, it's from disco, and the beats are from disco and soul. And oh, it's just phenomenal. And if you look at trance music, it's coming from like classical, right? So
I don't know what trance music is.
it's a dance music, right? Very electronica.
Uh-huh.
It's very trippy, right? It puts you in a trance. And yeah. It's there's so many different genres of dance music. There's I can't even name it all, right? It's just there's dubstep, there's drum and bass, there's two-step, there's dub, there is you name it, right? Deep house, gospel house. I used
Good.
to love gospel house because they would have this gospel music in it, and
Uh-huh.
um, and then the dance floor becomes like a church. You know what I'm saying? It's just so good. Yeah, yeah. Now that you're free from seeking, Zach, music becomes just this new openness, right? So for quite a while, I didn't know because I spent so much of my time seeking. I didn't know what to do with my time, and
Yeah. 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 I'm just gonna play around.
yeah, it's all play. It's all play.
It's all play.
It's all
It's
play.
all play.
And
Yeah.
I think most musicians, you know what I'm saying, that when they get into that spaciousness, into that in between notes, they know what I'm talking about, or that I can't talk about. And I think going back into going to the jazz clubs, and I was transfixed, when they're, making that musician face, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
those notes, you know what I'm saying, playing the piano, right, and and then someone told me that Emerson, you have a DJ face when you're DJing. You get into that timeless groove, right? And it's like
Yeah.
dancing. You get into that timelessness, and I would do like DJ set for 6 hours, and time would just be like, there's the next DJ said, I'm sorry, I'm late 2 hours. But yeah,
Yeah. 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 I feel it's funny how the emotion and energy of the mind
yeah,
when it comes to music,
yeah,
this I can fall into. I mean, I just gotta not fall into seeking or
yeah,
anything. It makes just keep it as play, and you can
yeah,
see where the my conditioning is. It's like ready to say it's here, ready to.
yeah. So what are you without the history? There you go. Yeah. Fresh, new.
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah. The mind wants to take you to a spin for a ride in a train of thought, right? But you don't have to arrive anywhere because it's already here. The mind will say, how about conditioning? How about that, right? And that's the thing with listening to a lot of teachers and speakers, because you get caught up in their words. You bring it to this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always simple. It's always
It
simple.
sounds so simple.
Just let go of the whole damn thing and be here.
Yeah, yeah. For a lack of a better way to say it, right? It's
Lack
just
of a
so
better way to say it. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
however you say it, isn't that,
Yeah. It just becomes another narrative, right? Over and
yeah.
over and over again. But yeah, at the end of the journey, life begins again, over and over again, again, again. There's a freshness to every moment, a new music that appears, a new genre of music. It's just all music. And I think I'll end that here. I'll stop the
All
recording.
right.